Welcome back to Rimworld, and I just noticed something really, really cool. We've got some visitors from the, what are they called? Like the Wizard Federation, yeah, the Sovereign Federation of Vanium. They came to the inn, and the first thing they do is leave some silver at reception. How cool is that? We've actually got, like, this little inn systems that are working fine. I honestly really, really love this one. I think it's absolutely insane. So we can see the faction they've got here. We can see, basically, you know, different factions here, so we can entertain them. We can recruit them. You can see how many friends they've got, and you can only recruit them after they're, you know, friendly with a certain amount of members of the colony, right? You can see their happiness within where they're staying. So that will increase as they stay and as we entertain them, because they've just turned up and it's actually kind of a bit of a shithole in the inn right now. It's fairly dirty. And if we provide them with, you know, food and that type of stuff, then they'll get happier. So let's set them. So area of accommodation is set to inn by default, and they can shop anywhere in the area of home, which I believe is basically the entire base besides Undeadburg, right? Oh, I need to restrict Undeadburg so the visitors don't accidentally see a lumbering horde of zombies setting up their food. So let's go ahead and, oh man, the thing is, I want it to be home area, so they actually put out flyers in there. Okay, so what we'll do then, we'll go back into the guest tab and set it to, what's that, area 1, I believe is everywhere but Undeadburg? It is, okay. So set area 1, that's everywhere they can shop in. We could also set it to just be, obviously, like, our stockpile, but I'm going to move this stockpile probably more into this area eventually, because it's kind of a little bit out of the way and a bit of a mess there. This is cool, though. I do love this inn system, and again, it's going to build up faction rapport. Look at that. They're leaving silver for us when they come and visit. I'm so glad I saw that bit on camera there as well. But yeah, no, they're basically paying us to stop here. Now, what is this? What's inside here? Are they buying stuff out of the lockers? Is that actually what's happening? Storage? It just says 320, but I don't actually know what that means. Yeah, they might be buying stuff out of the lockers. Either way, that's very, very cool as well. I'm a big fan of that. So, here's what we're going to do. First things first, I think I forgot to put floors down by the door, so we're going to go and do that one as well. Wooden floors? Oh no, seems like we're good. We could put it there, but it doesn't really make much sense having it there. Someone needs to hurry up and get up here and finish off cleaning the inn, because actually it's kind of a state. So do we have a dedicated cleaner? We do. We have Vricko, my good friend Vricko, playing poker. Vricko, clean some dirt for God's sake, because we've got guests, for God's sake. These people need some cleaning. There we go. That's going to look a lot better. Hopefully that'll increase their mood by a fair amount as well. Now, obviously we can make a lot of art and fill these rooms with it. That will improve I wanted to click the guest tab there. That will improve their thoughts of the base, and in turn, all of that. They're so happy about where they're staying right now, 100%. Basically a 5-star hotel at this stage, right? We've got a little hearth as well. Serving them some food would also help out a lot. So what I plan to do is put some lavish meals in this stockpile. Now, I don't want to put too many. It's a real shame. One of the big problems with Rimworld is you can't put a quantity in a stockpile, because I only want to put like 10 or so lavish meals in here, because obviously they'll just rot. In fact, we're not even making lavish meals right now, so I could go and just have somebody quickly churn some out. What I could do, in fact, is add a bill. So cook 4 lavish meals. Do until we have X. It's a real shame that we can't do until we have X within a particular radius. That sucks. As long as, I suppose if we're only cooking lavish meals for this area, it won't matter too much. So cooking until we've got like, we could do until we've got 40, because that seems a fairly good value. And then unpause when we've got, I know this is like the least interesting thing in the world, but also I think it's kind of fun running this little inn and having people come and stay with us. Unpause when we've only got 10 left. Store them in here and only in here. So if we go critical, meals, and then if we say clear all lavish meals, there we go. And they're not having anything else. Now, apparently we do have lavish meals in storage. I must be blind though. Oh, the minion was over the top of it. There we go. So this is probably also set to critical as well. So I'm actually going to set that to important. And then that way they should be able to haul the meals over into the other stockpile. So you guys have explained to me basically how this works. So Torann script, if I find one very quickly. So the Torann script will teach them a class, but it won't teach them any spells. The books will teach them the class, but will also give them the spells to coincide with that class. So honestly, seeing as the spells are quite expensive, what I think we should do is essentially only focus on making the arcane books. It's not much more expensive than the script. It's like 150 more unrefined magicite and devil strand rather than cloth. That's basically, you know, no real downside, because if we replace our cloth farm with devil strand, which I really should have done ages ago, oh man, we could grow blossom trees and glossom trees. I love how the glowing tree has less beauty than the non-glowing tree, but there we go. I guess it's just a beautiful plant that you grow to make your base look nicer. In fact, smattering some of those around the base would be kind of a good idea. So we want to grow devil strand, so let's go ahead and put some of that down as well. Where is it? Devil strand. Now, I do want to reduce the size of this farm and start building some, a little more nice housing for our higher level characters, for all of our dukes. And I really like the idea of having a racial representative. So the elf, Madalor, can get our own nice house. And the leader of the dwarves, we'll elect a dwarven leader who will also look after all of our dwarfs as well. But yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do when we scale down the farm a little bit. Now, I might get rid of the rice, Because rice is... Caravan's arrived. Let's deal with that in a second. Rice is obviously fast growing, which means we're not getting much out of it, and also it's taking a lot of effort to keep it planted. So I'm probably just going to get rid of this field to start off with here, and I might even just go ahead and pave over the goddamn thing. So let's go granite flagstone. Pave over the whole lot. Doesn't matter too much. We'll get rid of that, and then focus on sort of downsizing a little bit. Right, so... Oh, damn, that's a hell of a outpost. 5 people. 5 very powerful wizards. So let's move them up here a little bit. Now, ideally, we want to lure them over to us because we've got that ridiculous Reginald Elkip, Melee Supreme. One of you point out I could just switch over to sidearms. So when we've got like a big brawl going on, we get them to put away their weapons and use only their fist. If it's like 5-on-1, we're basically guaranteeing that we're going to knock him down and be able to recruit him rather than kill him. So, how many of them are there? 13. We've got 1. Oh, fuck, seriously? We've got like 5 with great bows? Genuinely? Yeah, we do. We've got, what is that? 1, 2... We've got like 6 with great bows, and we've got 1 with a composite bow. 1's got a peeler as well. So actually, in terms of range characters, there are... it's a majority of range setup here. Down, which is obviously a bad side for us, seeing as we're mostly melee. Let's go hide behind this house here, see if we can't lure a few over. Right, we want to take some pot shots with... Who have we got here? Jimbo has a very, very small range crossbow. Oh man, crossbows have a long range. That doesn't seem entirely fair. Now we could... What's the range on Sonic Blast? Fairly good, actually. Let's hide him behind here. Watch this. Let's Sonic Blast some dudes. That will wake them up and head them over to us. Boom. Good shot. All right. They're attacking our villagers. There we go. Okay. Now can you Sonic Storm? I believe he can do both, can't he? Yeah, he can. Okay. We've got to wait for them to bunch up a little bit before we do that. Okay. Head up here. And let's get some more shots going on this dude. Take him out. Have we got any more ranged weapons? Crossbow. Switch to... Okay, you haven't got a crossbow. You do as well. They are firing off magic, though, which is fine. Coma is immediately dead. That's very funny. Okay, take him out. Do they have any mages? That's worth looking at. So we've got Woodpecker Bazza. Woodpecker Bazza, the lightning mage. Might be worth trying to capture him. In fact, he's there. Oh, is he their only mage? Oh, we've also got a summoner as well. Getting either of those would be very, very valuable. All right, they are getting fairly close, so we do want to probably pull back and start switching over to melee at this stage. So if you also want to flip over to your sidearm, you are good. I'm fairly happy with how this is looking. Right, get in there. So we want to go search and destroy melee. There we go. In you go, team. Reginald Elkip is absolutely going to keep it under lockdown here. Now, this is what I'm worried about, is getting shot at by those boys. So let's stand behind the wall a little bit more. Force these archers to head over to us. What are they shooting at? They're never going to hit us from there. Is it not impossible for them to hit us from there? All right, there we go. Now they're fleeing. This is where we want to try and take this dude alive. So they've also got a summoner, which I have a feeling is probably going to run completely opposite direction. So I'm going to switch over Elkip to Fist. Punch him. Jimbo, switch to Fist. Punch him. Go, go, go. Get him. Oh, he killed him with fucking magic missile. God damn it, every time. Okay. You go for sidearms. Let's see if we can capture that summoner then. I just need to get the technique down to capturing... Oh, shit. Hang on. Was that Shadow Ball? Can just knock him down. Yeah, because it does shadow damage, so it doesn't actually... It just gives them so much extreme pain, they drop to the floor. Doesn't actually hurt them too much. So Shadow Bolt is very good. Now, these boys actually aren't fleeing, so let's not worry about that yet. Come back, come back, come back. All right, pull back a little bit. Nobody's injured. Oh, Jim Morrison's injured, but Insane Nigel, obviously the healer there, should be able to do it in no time. Right, no more search and destroy, not till Jim Morrison's healed up. All right, now who are we looking at? These boys actually don't know we're here yet. Oh my god, no. It's too tempting. How can I not? No, no, don't do it. Last time we did this, we died. I can't do it again. No, no, no. It's not. It is worth it because the armor is so ridiculously overpowered, but the dragons are so ridiculously overpowered too that I definitely can't bring myself to do it. Unless I plan out better. So what we could do is actually put a big gate across here, have one pawn run in circles around the dragons whilst everybody just shoots him dead with the ballista. That could work. Now, the only downside to that is obviously the ballista shoots the dude we've got running around and then maims him, and then obviously we've got to try and micromanage that as well. Right, go ahead and heal Jim Morrison. Oh, has he had a part cut off? Shit, his toe's been... Not his right little toe. Okay, Jim Morrison, I'm going to say medical, self-tend. He already is self-tending, that's good. Already tended to Jim Morrison. There we go, so that's that problem solved. Let's go ahead and skip this through. Alright, this is what my favourite part of actually having this speed mod. Not specifically to play on Speed 4, because Speed 4 is actually in the base game. Not many people know that. You just need to be on Dev mode to enable it. If you press the 4 key on your keyboard, it'll automatically go into Speed 4. So it is in the base game. It's just kind of, you know, locked behind Dev mode. What I do like is the ability to skip boring times like this, where there are technical enemies around, but they're no threat to us right now. Okay, so... Insane... So who's our Warlock here? Mark. Mark the Warlock. How far has Shadow Ball got a range on it? Quite far. I want to maim that summoner. I want to knock them down so that we can take them prisoner. because that would be so incredibly valuable to us. Right, so stand there. Shadow Bolt. Slightly out of range. Get a little bit closer. Right, Shadow Bolt. There we go. And what direction are they moving? They're moving down here, so open fire. Missed it. I've missed that by a mile. Very unfortunate. Now, they are coming over by themselves, which is great news. So, lure it round. Is it just that one we've pulled? Okay, it's that one, but it is... What are they doing? Oh, they're just wandering. Interesting. Right, so Sonic Blast might also be able to knock them down. This seems like a little bit of a risk. So, we're going to sort of try Jim Morrison. Come over here. So, they're sort of heading in this direction. It takes quite much longer than I thought to charge up. Get over here. Come on, run. Here we go. Sort of fire it there? Like there? Completely missed that one. Okay, that one fired very fast. Unfortunately, some just charged much faster than others. Right, moving very, very slowly here. Switch to range on everybody. It's a shame you can't see everybody's sidearms as well. That's a nice little system I'd like to see. Right, there we go. Move in a little bit closer. Take them out one at a time. We've just got to aggro them, and then we can really get involved here. Well, that should get their attention. Or not. Oh, he dropped down dead after that mage over there shot him with a bunch of magic missiles. Are we bothered about that? No, not really. Doesn't matter too much. So Raccoon is the one we want to capture. What if we go for like a Sonic Storm? No Sonic Storm. Repulsion is not going to help. We could Graveblade. Graveblade has obviously proven very, very powerful in the past. Which direction are you heading? You're heading north. I'm not really sure I want to risk that. Oh, so this dude is absolutely going to get roasted. Roast him. Good shot. I think he got hit by one of them. Graveblade I've never really liked too much. It seems like a good power in what's the term? In terms of in theory, but in practice it never works well at all. Whoa, that was a hell of an explosion. Holy shit, I just wanted to do a magic missile quickly, see what that was like. Alright, let's move in. Let's actually start the battle now, team. Because this is getting pretty boring just having a... Yeah, it's basically been going on like this for a couple of minutes now, just having an archer contest. Right. Hopefully you can see why I cut a little bit out there. Come on, team. Whenever you're ready, get a good shot. There we go. Right, so where is our summoner? So... Wait, which one's this? Where's the summoner gone? Did we accidentally kill the summoner? Am I a fucking idiot? Raccoon was the summoner and we just blew her up. Enemy Elven King of the Blue Plane Covenant. Right, we should definitely take this dude out. He seems to be fleeing already. Quest complete. Hey, there we go. Shit, that counts. Right, please take out their king. If we take out their king, that would be a massive blow. Hunt him down. Oh, God, don't fire. Don't fire. Search and destroy melee, you fools. Right, hunt him down. I think he's going to get away. Man, he moves fast for a dude that we've maimed a couple of times. Yeah, no, he's escaped from the map. You know what? That's fine. Could have ended a lot worse. I still need to work out a good method of capturing wizards. More importantly, we took absolutely no damage there, so that worked out incredibly well. Let's go ahead and claim this one. So what did we get from that one for our trouble? Let's jump to location. We got ourselves the Taunt Script Water. So this will teach one of our characters to become a water mage, but it won't give them any spells. That's fine. Honestly, just the mage alone, and you know, they get XP for doing passive tasks anyway. So I think just getting them something to start off with would be more beneficial than not. Right, so let's claim this one. Have they got any treasure at all besides the quest reward? Because it seems a little bit lackluster. Yeah, that was incredibly lackluster. Okay, right. Time to go home, team. It may be beneficial to get Bonnet Bigly back on the negotiations, to go and greet our guests and go and see how they're doing. Like, Croesus has been heading over, keeping it down, keeping them charmed, entertaining them. And like I said, this is going to improve a lot of relations with other factions as well. So we are actually making allies in this process. These boys keep buying. I don't know what they're buying. I don't know what's in storage here. How can I see what's contained within it? Information? Nothing? What if we go clear all? Something's in there. Oh, cloth. It's cloth. How am I supposed to know that cloth is in there, though? Oh, if you click it twice, it shows what's actually stored within it. So we've got, like, herbal medicine and cloth is apparently what we've been selling them. That's fine. So let's make ourselves another gem of Arcane Insight so we can see what the Water Mage has done for us. Basically, any mage class we haven't seen yet. It's kind of my goal to get one of each mage before the end of the series, because I'd really love to see what each one does, sort of have its unique effects. So, what else we got here? Market. Oh, the Gen of Regeneration. Rhino Self-Tamed. Hey, that's pretty cool. Cool, let's named it Cristobal. Welcome, Cristobal the Rhino. So, like I said, one of every mage would be cool. Obviously, getting Bonnet Bigly up to a Lich would be a very, very good goal to have as well. And an Ibex Ram as well. Now, what I saw was, oh shit, look at these high-level gems. Crafting 14, Intellectual 8, Artistic 5. These are insane. Major Gem of Wonder gives major bonuses to all enchantment categories. We've got to go with that, right? 650 unrefined Magicite is just absurd. We haven't even mined any more Magicite. I might have to reopen the quarry here and get more people on that. Yeah, we've already got that little Magicite, eh? The Gem of Insight, how much is that? That's 500. We don't have enough Magicite to even make any more mages. Can we break these gems down? Is that possible? No, not even remotely. You know what, then? In hindsight, these quests that are offering a fair amount of Magicite are definitely worth doing. I believe we've got one here. 69. Oh, God, that's not worth it. So we've got a lot of Warhammers produced. Now, I did say we switch over to blunt weaponry, so we've got less chance of just straight up murdering people or watching them bleed out. Let's go ahead and switch over to a lot of these Warhammers then. Go ahead and equip that one. Did I say equip that as a sidearm? Oh, right, because he's got bow as his main weapon. Vricko, you come and grab this one as well. Patches is churning out just basically, or it's running the blacksmith here, which is pretty good for us. And then, of course, if anybody wants any of these weapons, we've actually got proper crossbows. We've got a lot of light crossbows as well. These things here, the one-handed crossbows, we need to get rid of those because they just, the range that we saw then was terrible. Here we go. So we've got some absolutely absurd weapons now from the very, very end of the Arcane gear. So we've got the Thrombo Axe, an axe crafted using Thrombo Horns. I assume we do actually need Thrombo Horns. Yeah, 2 times Thrombo Horn. We've also got Thrombo, which also requires a Thrombo Horn, funnily enough. These things are insane. The DPS on this, 12.42, gives plus 10% energy, plus 20% arcane... Oh, sorry, plus 30% arcane resist, plus 20% damage boost. That's insane. The clasp stores arcane potential, transfers its physical force, cleaving through multiple opponents. That seems like the perfect thing for El Kip, right? Because he is not only a very, very powerful Death Knight, was it? So he's obviously that powerful magic knight. But he also would benefit a lot from this axe because he does use magic. So we've got a lot of staffs as well here. Staff of the Defender. Communicate with their ancestral spirits who can manifest their power in the form of a physical barrier. Or we've got Blazing Power. Magical spells when wielding this staff. That I think we've got to go for. I feel like we have to make one of these for Bonnet Bigly. Now we could make everybody a smoothbore musket as well. That seems more accurate, does more damage when compared to the crossbow. Making everybody one of these as their sidearm should be a #1 priority. Paragons Helm gives maximum energy, arcane resistance, XP gain. So making all of our mages, the Paragon gear set, because I believe there was some more of those, wasn't there? There's Paragon Helm. Let me see what else there was. It was, Hammer the Valiant does the same thing as well. Paragon seems better, though. Dwarf King's Crown is pretty irrelevant. Armor of the Valiant, that's it. And there's also Ancient Mail. Augmented by Arcane Scepter, or Spectre, sorry. 50% chance to deal 20% more damage. This honestly reminds me of Torann in a lot of ways. All these ridiculous armor sets that all have various bonuses with it. This needs 120 times a base ingredient, 200 times magicite, 50 times jade, 10 times silver, 50 times... This is absurd. Some of these are so expensive, but we've got something to work towards here, definitely. Alright, so we've created the, or more specifically, we've researched Arcane Forge, which allows us to make mana weave. We've also got Forge Replication coming up after that, and that's basically the final bit of the absurd magic stuff. Now, is that, I assume, something we just build, right? So production maybe like Arcane Forge. Well, this has got to go in Bonnet Bigly's room, right? Oh, to be fair, though, I say that, but then I only end up putting it, we'll put it near the blacksmiths, because that does kind of make the most sense. We'll put it here. And then we'll have to move the stockpile. So the whole idea of this was, you know, looking more like a blacksmith shop. What I'm going to do is actually build a stockpile out the back of the blacksmiths in that case. Oops, that was ugly as sin. We'll build a stockpile out the back here to actually store the weapons and gear and when they're not, you know, up for sale or anything like that. We must have had enough magicite somewhere because we do have a Gem of Arcane Insight. I think it's just from having these 2 quarries on the go. You've got to remember the Undead and Undeadberg are just, oh my god, look at that. Constantly mining. They never have to stop. So this is bringing in a shit ton of resources, I imagine. We're only at 25% still on the quarry. That's insane. Okay then. Well, let's train up a new watery wizard. It's a shame we don't have deep sea anymore, eh? Right, so Egas, the Sage, congratulations. You're going to be the Sage of Water. So let's go and get him to use this one. That should convert him into somebody who's magically gifted, because that's just how it works. You eat a gem. What do we look at? Okay, well, I'll assume it worked. Again, you can't really tell because of the trait screen. And then let's go Reed. He's a watery wizard. Rainmaker and Frost Ray? You'd assume it's Frost Ray. Alright, here we go. Let's see what we can get then. Ice Bolt. Obviously, we're going to go for that one eventually. Blizzard as well. Snowball. We've got Soothing Breeze. What does that do? Because a soothing aura around the caster that periodically buffs an ally. That actually sounds very, very useful. Man, all these are useful besides the rain, unfortunately. But there we go. That's cool. Hey, that's pretty cool. They apparently really enjoyed their stay and left us some Psychite, Tearful, fucking things. God damn it. But they did leave us some Magicite, which is obviously incredible. If we could charge everybody with that, and we have a new gift, a new visitor as well. Lobacron. Welcome. Loborcon. Right, there we go. They do have things to trade, but honestly, I can't be bothered with that. We're just like, if we're trading with them, they can't be interacted with and tried to, like, obviously, Cross is going to go and try and smooth them there. If we're trading with them, we can't smooth them. The church looks okay, but it's definitely missing a certain, like, pizzazz. It looks a little bit dull, to be honest with you. What else have we got in, I don't know, like, old-style, medieval, furniture, anything? The Dwarven Candelabras always look really good, no matter where we put them. So I might put a couple of those down as well. We'll sort of put them, what do you think, at the end of each row? That might look okay. It might look terrible, but it might look okay. And then we could also put down some... What do churches have in them? Because I've been in a church forever. What about the Dwarven Ithilodin lamps look very good as well. Do we need steel for that? But it does create that blue light that I think... Oh, you can't put them indoors. Man, that sucks. Okay, we'll go for the Candelabra then. Put down a couple of those and sort of see how that looks when we're done. I think we all know what's going to come next, right? Teaches Necromancer how to transform into a Lich. Bonnet Bigly can permanently become that Lich form. You guys have told me that if we do that, he can only research and can only do one other thing as well. But basically, he's very, very limited in what he can actually do. But he becomes immortal. He doesn't have to eat, sleep. He's basically like the undead, but better in every conceivable way. So he can just stay up researching constantly. Plus, I think that's a very... I mean, making him unkillable, that seems pretty appropriate for Bonnet Bigly here. So make Necromancer spell Lich form. 360 Unrefined Magicite and 100 Devil Strand. Now, I don't believe our Devil Strand harvest is ready yet. That one's only 25% grown, and this one hasn't even been planted yet, because obviously our farms are still way too big. And a lot of our farmers were away. So, when that is done, we'll make a tentative decision whether or not to actually convert Bonnet into the Lich. Now, we could also make some other Master Scrolls as well, because a lot of our pawns, you know, lack that ability. So, let's check somebody here, like, okay, we need, like, an actual wizard, though. So, Insane Nigel's ultimate one is Holy Wrath. But that one, obviously, again, learned from a scroll. Reginald L. Kip, I think, has access. Yeah, he has access to all of his abilities. Mark can learn Psychic Shock, the Warlock ultimate there. Oh my god, he has like 11 points. I should really be leveling these dudes up. Gateway. Falls reality to open a gateway to another player-controlled location and instantly moves all pawns and items in a 7-cell radius. So if we had another colony, that would be insanely powerful. Orbital Strike. I mean, this is in the base game Rimworld, to my knowledge, right? You can call it an Orbital Strike on people, but it's very expensive. This, I assume, is just a reusable version of it, but it's got to be, like, warm-up 3.6. What's the cooldown on that? Can we even see? Doesn't say, but you'd assume it'd be very, very, very slow. And then we've also got, I believe our only other ones, we've got Egas can learn Blizzard, Potts can learn, Summon Poppy I also think sounds pretty cool, summoning this swarm of, like, what I can only describe as the enemies from Kirby. You know, those weird heads when you walk past them and they, like, start chomping after you. I'm sure I'll edit it in somewhere. And then we can also get another Master Scroll, Psychic Shock Scroll there as well. God, that's difficult to say. Right, let's level everybody up then, because I've kind of been ignoring that for quite some time. Our boy, Reginald L. Kip, you will get, I think, a high level of Greyblade, because it seems fairly disappointing right now. Or Spite. He uses Spite all the goddamn time. No, we're going for Spite instead. I changed my mind. Graveblade seems dependent on when the actual projectiles hit, but this is obviously guaranteed damage if it does hit. Graveblade just seems a little bit too random for my liking. Insane Nigel. It's finally time. We could increase his mana, but he can heal everyone anyway. It's just the cooldown of the actual ability that affects him now. Shield. Valiant Charge. Flies with the wings of an angel to a distant location. That sounds terrible. Overwhelm. Overwhelming the physical and mental senses of nearby creatures. That sounds like it would be very, very useful for actually capturing people. Can stun. Oh, that's what it does. Decreases the mana cost or increases the damage potential. We might not even want to increase the damage potential. We might just want to stun them so that we can move in and capture them. Mark, you have 11 points available. I am going to go for Heart of Darkness, the Shadow Bolt here, because it is insanely powerful. It's just so good from what we've seen before. Proximity damage, so it's an AoE magic missile, essentially. Let's go for decrease the mana cost. In fact, we can go fully upgraded Shadow Bolt. That sounds awesome. Jimbo, you're already pretty good. I do like Shadow because of the passive buff, so I'm going to fully max out Shadow for him there. And then Croesus, I'm just going to stick with going for these here. So what else have we got? We've got Power Cycler. Surrounds him with a kinetic field that repels inbound projectiles. This would be very, very good if we come under attack and we put him at the front gate here and just put down a kinetic shield. We've got Clean Power, Overdrive. So that makes a machine more effective. That's completely useless to us. Sabotage blows up a machine, so that's completely useless. So these two are actually the only useful ones. Honestly, still think it's massively overshadowed by this. The ability to lob grenades at people seems a bit more useful. Then, of course, Patches, Pots. I don't think these boys will have leveled up too much. No, they haven't got any yet. I'm going to level up the Summon Minion, because that always seems very, very useful. Increases the duration by 10 minutes per skill point. Seriously? Is that... Wait. Is that 10 minutes as we play? That seems absurd. They last 10 minutes to go. That's absolutely insane. Can we summon more of them? Oh, there we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Summon 2 greater minions. I'm in. Hacker Voice, I'm absolutely in. I want to teach everybody this spell because it's just so very, very good. Even though we've only got one summoner. In fact, we could just make a shit ton of summoners. I might even do that. So did it say that we can use, as I recall, one of the books with a guy that we've got? Use a train mage to record their secrets in the book. This book can then be used on another pawn to teach them the same thing. I just want a ton of summoners because it seems like a very, very good way to run a colony insanely efficiently with so few people. We have such an absurd amount of iron. I mean, iron isn't particularly useful because obviously to make usable weapons they need to be steel, and when you smelt down these weapons, they turn back into iron. But we have just a ridiculous amount. Look at this, 12,000. Basically, I've just set them to, and I've had this, you know, for like 10 episodes or whatever now, constantly smelting down all the enemy weapons we find. So, as Madalore smelts down the weapons into iron, we've got patches then turning it back into steel. Now, I'm trying to make steel so we can get this Arcane Forge up and running because we've got all the resources we need. And then, hopefully, we can get Bonnet Bigly outfitted with, although the Gokey armor is very, very cool, something a bit more magical. Alright, let's see if we can do anything cool with this thing here. Steel Arcane Forge Replication Scan. The Arcane Forge is capable of scanning a single item and replicating its design. Oh, that's cool. I have a note the Forge can perform scans at no cost, but the active design is replaced by the default recipe is that the game is reloaded. Okay, so for one, I guess, what's the expression? For one, game, for this game, for the remainder of this game until I reload it, we could potentially scan something very, very rare and try and rebuild it. So, what can we make? All of the magic items, okay, but it's all in one very, very convenient place. This is cool. So we've got Thrombo, we sort of know how those work. Mana Weave, it's 2,500 fine magicite and cloth. Oh, of course, there we go. I would get rid of all my frigging cloth to do that. Difficult and taxing to create. Only a talented and knowledgeable mage can make this. Intellectual 4. Kind of disagree there. So that requires Wondrous Cloak. What does that do? Maximum energy plus 12%, ability cooldown minus 20%, arcane resistance plus 5%, that's massive. Staffs as well. Robes of the Archmage. That sounds very, very cool. Look at that. That's absurd. Very, very powerful, but also insanely expensive. That's probably the best sort of body gear you can get for a wizard. We've got rings as well. Psionic energy increases the power depends on the fame of its bearer and will grow with each wound taken or inflicted. Oh, that's Death Knight, right. Death Knight, we've got Keen Intellect, increases... Okay, so heightens mental acuity, but increases mental stress. So more HP, but more break risk. Ring of Blood, I guess that is for a Blood Mage. You would assume, yeah, so it increases the amount of blood reserves that can be used by a Blood Mage. We've got Paragons Helm. Elite Warriors of the Valiant, gives energy cost minus 5%, class XP gain plus... Okay, that's cool. Hood of Madness. What is this for? This is crazy. Class XP gain plus 30%, that seems very significant, but I think I prefer something like this still. We've got Helm of the Valiant as well. XP cost minus 5%, class XP gain plus 10%. Dark Robe is it's no way going to be near as good as that Archmage one, surely. I'm basing it, honestly, on the ingredients. I'm assuming the more expensive ones are going to be the better ones, so I assume the Paragons Helm is still the best. Cloak of Supremacy. Are they robes, though? What do they count as? Does it show where you wear them? Covers neck, left shoulder, right shoulder, and waist. Yeah, no shit. What do they count as? Oh, layer cloak. Okay, so you could wear the Cloak of Supremacy and the Robe of the Archmage, because that counts as middle and outer. Right, interesting. I wonder if we could also make... Are there any lower armors as well? Probably not. So the Wondrous Cloak we could also make if we felt like it. That gives bonus to energy. Man, this is insane. There's so much to see here. Braces of the Pacifist gives Arcane Recovery. This is absurd. Like, there's just so much shit. I assume this one is the best because this is insanely expensive. Armor of the Valiant covers the outer layer, I would assume, so we can't wear those with the hood. We've also got an arcane hood there. Ancient Mail. There's too much. There is actually way too much to see. Stores data for details and designs of replicated objects. I see them. We've got Elephant Sphere and Elephant Bow. Requires, I assume, Elephant Tusks. Right, so a weaker version of the Thrombo and the Thromax as well. This is very weird. We've got some very, very cool stuff. I feel like we have to craft Bonnet Bigly, that great setup. So, let's go from the top here. Wondrous Cloak cost 150 ingredients and 100 unrefined magicite. The other cloak costs 150 ingredients, 400 magicite. So I'm going to assume that the other one is better. So it's 12%, 20%, 5%. This one is 40%, 40%, minus 20 on ability cooldown. Augmented by Phantom Shift, whatever the hell that means. We are going to make a Cloak of Supremacy in that case. Now, we want to make his robes. We've got Dark Robes, which are 100 ingredients, 350. These are 300 and 500, so I'm going to make the robes of the Archmage and just assume they're the best. So next, we've got the hood. Now, this is kind of difficult because we've got, like, Armor of the Valiant is easily the most expensive, surely. Oh, no, wait, we want helmet. I thought it was a helmet then, my mistake. Helm of the Valiant, 100 ingredients, 60 unrefined magicite, 10 silver, 2 gold. We've got the Paragons Helm. Its energy cost minus 5%, 15% extra XP, 5% extra energy, and 10% arcane resist. I'm actually probably going to go for that one just based on the others here not looking nearly as good. Yeah, no, they're not, are they? So we want to make Bonnet Bigly, Robes of the Archmage, a Paragon's Helm. Now, the real question is, can we enchant these with gems as well? Because if we can, this boy is going to be insanely powerful. So we've already got the Robes of the Archmage. Now, let me just double check. They do cover the middle and outer. Right, okay. Whereas this only uses up the middle, so he could wear the Dark Robe and something else. He could wear the Dark Robe and the Armor of the Valiant. That might be a better idea. That genuinely might be a much, much better idea. So Dark Robe versus the Robes of the Archmage. It's a lot weaker, isn't it? It's almost half. Energy regen plus 20%. That gives only 10%. It's half as good. It's like almost exactly... Yeah, it is almost half as good. So do we want the Dark Robes plus the armor instead? Armor of the Valiant minus 10%. So it's almost the same. Honestly, it's almost identical in terms of the bonuses you get. But obviously the armor is armor. So if you get stabbed by a sword, it's probably going to go straight through the robes, but that would deflect it. I think I'm kind of happy to do what we've got here. Or we could have the Ancient Mail. What does that do? Augmented by Arcane Spectre, 50% chance to deal 20% more damage. Yeah, no, I honestly think the Robes of the Archmage are much better. Then we've got to make some braces. So you've got Pacifist, Deflection, or Defense. Well, seeing as this one costs an absurd amount, we are going to go for the Pacifist braces. That's everything. We've got Cloak of Supremacy, Robes of the Archmage, Helmet, and the Brace of the Pacifist. Then we also probably want to make him like a... What have we got? The Staff of the Defender gives max energy plus 30%, so that's already better. Oh, it's just a direct upgrade. Oh, that gives a 40% damage boost, but that gives a 20% arcane resistance. That one also gives him an arcane barrier. 40% damage versus... Well, I mean, Bonnet Bigly isn't an aggressive... Oh, he is an offensive mage. He's a necromancer. So the Staff of the Defender would make more sense, I think. Yeah, this is going to be ridiculous. Now, are these any good? Eternal Blue is just Psionic Energy. Ring of Malice is for Death Knights. These give him more XP, but more mental stress. But if he's a Lich, he might not suffer from that. Might be worth bearing that in mind. And then the Ring of Blood is for Blood Mage. Man, that's insane. So we've got some very, very insane artifacts that we want to build here. Now, I don't think we've nearly got the resource for it. And we're going to need Mana Weave as well. So this is going to take a long time to make all this. Oh, hang on. What about the skills that we need? Intellectual 10. Bonnet can craft all of this. Intellectual 8. Yeah, Bonnet can easily craft all of this by himself. So details, we'll go Worker, Bonnet Bigly. Oh, wow. Can Bonnet not do it? Intellectual 4. Wait, maybe I have to specifically say to Bonnet, hey, go and do... Yeah, there we go. So we have to actually get him to prioritize doing it. Right, absolutely, we're going to get Bonnet doing this. How much of the Mana Weave do we need then? Let's just do a quick head count. So we make a Cloak of Supremacy, which requires none as far as I remember. Where is it? Cloak of Supremacy, which requires none. The Robes of the Archmage require none. The Paragon's Helm requires none. The Braces of the Pacifist require 50, and the Staff of the Defender. So I think we actually only need 50 Mana Weave. So do until we've got 50. Or do 50 times, I should say. I assume it churns out 1 per go, right? Mana Weave? What does it do? 25 unrefined magicite and 25 cloth makes 25 Mana Weave. So actually we only need to do that twice. Thank God I double checked that. Right, okay, that is good then. I think we are good to go. Besides that... What do we want to actually make the gear out of? Because different... So, obviously, it'll be affected by... Oh, hang on. We can make this out of Mana Weave. Clear all, only allow Mana Weave. Now, I assume that's going to be better than Devil Strand, so obviously that's what I'm going to do here. Cloak of Supremacy, clear all, only allow it out of Mana Weave. Because Mana Weave, from what they're making it sound like, it's very, very good. They make it sound like it's incredible. Armor Sharp, 138%. Oh, man, 138% against armor is insane. Can we make it out of the dragon stuff? We can make it out of the friggin' dragon hide. Oh, God. 150 ingredients. Right, okay. So actually, can we make any of it? So the Cloak of Supremacy. So we've only got 150. Only got 110. So the Cloak of Supremacy, 150. Robes of the Archmage is... Where's the Robes of the Archmage? 300. Okay, not a chance in hell. Paragon's Helm is 200. Braces of the Pacifist is 100. We can make our braces out of the dragon hide. Right, clear all, only dragon hide. There we go. And then Staff of the Defender is just... you know, regular resources, right? So we want to restrict the rest to... So the Paragon's Helm, make it out of plasteel. Mine the God Rock. Oh, man, I really wish we knew how to make Mithril. We've not seen any in the game at all. There must be some research behind it, right? Let me see. Let me just double check that before we commit to making this stuff. Mithril. Ithildin. Is that it? Special lighting using a mithril alloy. No, that's it. How do we make mithril? Is it a dwarven thing? Have I missed it? Grand Gate. Okay. Might be Kingdom Under the Mountain, maybe. Is that what we need? What about plate armor? I have no idea. If you guys know how to make mithril, for the love of God, let me know, because that seems like something we absolutely need. Thank you all for watching. I apologise about that massive info dump there, trying to work out what the best armor for Bonnet is, but I feel like it's definitely worthwhile, and that way if I fucked it up, you guys can also sort of correct me there and point me in the right direction for better resources and that type of thing. And hopefully, we can churn out a decent armor set for everybody using all this mage gear that we've sort of come across. Really need some Thrumbos to spawn as well now. Maybe even set up a Thrumbo breeding program. Sounds like it could be a little bit too much to ask, but getting some Thrumbo horns so we can make this OP gear as well would be very, very cool. I explained this on the CK2 video, but for those of you who don't watch it, unfortunately, at the start of the month, Patreon had a massive issue when it came to payment processing. So a lot of patrons were just automatically declined, and unfortunately, I have no way to let them know, because Patreon also removed... Basically, if you're not a backer, you don't get access to the Discord channel that they manage for me as well. So they've been automatically removed, so as a result, I have no way to get in touch with these people. Thanks, Patreon. So, as a result, if your name is not on the list, please get in touch with me over Discord or anyway, basically, send me a message on Patreon, whatever. And I will set up a special Discord rank so that you guys can get access back to the Patreon Discord group, and so that we can, you know, discuss whatever the hell Patreon have done this month to cause this massive fuck-up. So if your name's not on this list, don't be too surprised. Hopefully, over the course of the month, they're going to fix whatever issues they made. They said it's going to take, like, maybe a few more days more than before to get things fixed. So don't be surprised if your name is not on the shout-out list. A big shout-out to Zachary Harris, Harik, Lucas Holting, Sean Thornton, Haydog, Sidini, Tim Bragg, Lorus, Vacuous Bacchus, Josh Lindeen Tesla, Tyler Birch, Jacob Alexander Fenton, Powers Presley, Asuna Kirito, Logan Thorne, Conspired Seed, Jimbo, Orcswolf, Facundo Vasquez, Tom Terrier 18, Average Gamer 419, Escape, and Jackson Whitman for their support, the Insane Tier levels on Patreon. Thank you very much. If you're not on the list, please get in touch, because I want to make sure you guys get your shout-outs. And a big shout as well to Nathaniel Lindbergh, Brandon Matoniak, Euphrates, Jack Allen, Betimus Max, Panther Pearl, Gabriel Van Ders, Llewellyn Thomas, Nathan Flores, Joran DeVries, Haji Demar, Alpha Scuff, Kevin Saunders, Deconi217, Zet McDougall, Joseph Beard, Jordan Campbell, Harry McGowan, Chris, Sir Thor the Swede, Astro Nick, Will Wade, Noah Gallimore, Fraser Brennan, The Insane Pickle, and Adam Person.